Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. I hope you are all well. To break up the heroes content I'm still lacking behind on, we have the showcase on the newly EZA'd from yesterday, EZA TEQ Vegito Blue. The Rose is also ready to go. I'll do a video on that shortly afterwards. And this is probably one of the most anticipated EZAs, including the Rose and the Rose and Zamasu eventually when they may drop, because they may not even drop in this celebration. They may drop going into next year with LR Merge Zamasu in, like, you know, what would have been a part 2. This is probably one of the most anticipated EZAs back in the day, an absolute OG of a unit. So let me know what you think of them down in the comments and how you're finding it. And don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you're new. All the support is very much appreciated. So we do have him on a 200% lead, which is the Power Beyond the Super Saiyan and also Kamehameha lead. My Year 7 gods are now level 10 links. A video probably will be coming out at some point. Do like to save those up for when I need them most. So yeah, of course, one of his major things is he stacks both attack and defense. So his starting numbers for a unit that stacks actually isn't too bad. Just over 136k attack stat and 137k defense. Of course, the more additionals he does, which he has 2 built-in additionals, the more supers he does, including if you have dupes. So the possibility of super attacking 4 times is a real possibility with TEQ VB. Those numbers, of course, are only going to grow and grow. So right now, we only have him linked up with 4 links. Super Saiyan Warrior Gods over in a Flash Fierce battle. He doesn't actually link too badly with the Tech God Goku, so a viable rotation for Red Zone. He also doesn't link too badly with the Year 7 Year 7 and Gods either. Once you pick up some key spheres, Kamehameha will be active. That's another 4 links. But his best linking partner is going to be the Tech LR transforming Vegito Blue, who really does need an EZA. Can you imagine if he becomes a slot 1 unit eventually when he does actually get his EZA? Because then you could run that as a very good and viable rotation. So let's just give him all them orbs and see what he's doing. So after EZAing, he's a super type lead, giving key +4 and HP and attack and defense +140, when of course the team includes all 5 super types. On super, raises attack and defense, he disables enemy's guard and causes immense damage to the enemy. The main thing there being he stacks both attack and defense, not just one of them. And he's starting with a 1.6 million attack stat, which obviously isn't impressive, especially because he's rainbowed. But of course, he has those built-in additionals. We also have him rainbowed. He's been out for a while. A lot of you probably have dupes as well. He's going to stack. Did you see how much he jumped up by? He jumped up by like 1 million. He went from 1.6 mil to 2.6 mil. So of course, in Red Zone, which isn't that long of an event, it's longer than an ESBR fight, but it's not considered a longer event. That jump up, especially if you are hitting at least 3 supers in one turn, the 4 supers a turn, which is, the most ideal, at least he's going to be viable for Red Zone, where you're stacking relatively quickly, especially combined with the amount of super attacks you can be doing on average in one turn. So on VB's passive, he does get 150% defense at the start of the turn. He also gets an additional defense +50% when attacking, so he will get a 50% defense when he attacks. That includes, of course, not supering. That includes on the additionals. So defensively, after stacking a bit and also getting that 50% defense when attacking, his defense can be in quite a solid spot, or not too bad of a spot considering he's not the most, amazing defensive unit. He also launches 2 additional attacks, the 2 built-in additionals, each which have a 30% of becoming a super attack. So not the biggest chance, that's only a 30% chance each, but that is a 30% chance of launching 2 extra super attacks. And again, on top of the fact, if you do have dupes, which a lot of you probably do, because it is an older unit, that is the potential of 4 super attacks in one turn. That means decent accumulative damage. That means he stacks up his attack and defense quicker. And all round, just an absolute beast. So we've lost the Kamehameha link, but after literally 2 stacks, we're up to a 413k attack stat. Literally just under 200k defense, which of course we're gonna get that 50% defense when attacking, so that is gonna go up. That is literally off of 2 stacks, 1 initial super attack and 1 additional. 3.5 million. Of course, Vegeta's gonna be dead now, so no more stacking. But of course, when you're in the likes of Red Zone, the Red Zone bosses health bar and damage reduction and defense are a lot more meatier than Vegeta's, so him stacking up isn't going to be too much of an issue. Not only that as well, he does get attack plus 20% of each attack performed, up to 200%. So of course, initially in his passive, he doesn't get any attack at the start of turn. You're going to be building that up. But once again, considering he has 3 built-in attacks anyway, because this is each attack performed. This doesn't have to be super attacks. So if those additionals don't end up becoming super attacks, you don't need to worry. It's just as long as he does an attack, he will get an additional attack plus 20%, which will build up to 200% in total, which of course is 10 attacks. But considering, again, he's going to be attacking at least 3 times in a turn. Again, they don't have to be supers. That will take you until the latest, his 4th appearance, which isn't too bad. It isn't too bad considering that will be his first attack out of the potential total 3 or 4 he can do in one turn. That will be his first attack in the 4th time he appears, which isn't too bad. If you are hitting some of the 4th, if you are hitting 4 attacks in one turn and you're getting lucky with the additionals from the dupe system, the earliest you can get it is somewhere in turn 3 that he appears, or the 3rd turn he appears, which is actually very good. So his attack will jump up quite a bit, not just from the stacking, but also the stacking up of his passive specifically to get up to that 200%. So building that up is going to be very crucial in terms of him doing damage quickly. And again, it's going to be very easy because of those 2 built-in additionals. And again, if you're hitting that 4th attack, or even better, that 4th super attack, because then, you're going to be doing good combined damage in the turn. You're going to be stacking up his passive quicker. He's just an amazing unit. So now we have LRVB on rotation, which is kind of his ideal linking partner. Of course, we are going to get Warrior Gods active if we do keep Tech God Goku, or keep him linked up with Tech God Goku, which we're going to do. I'm not sure how many attacks we've done so far, considering what I've just said, and we haven't been hitting 4 attacks each time. He will probably get the final 20% he needs during this rotation. So we are up to a 439k attack stat, 220k defense, and again, this on top of the fact that he has the possibility, and again, we haven't got that many additional supers when you think about how many times he can actually super attack in one turn. We haven't had that many. So this is on top of the fact of he can additional super attack quite a few times, and he could have done prior to this turn, which again, he hasn't done too much. So that could easily be a lot higher than it actually is. We're up to 3.6. Will Vegeta survive? Could we get another one off? No, he's gone on crit. But yeah, I think he should be built up with all that extra attack plus 200% roundabout now. He also gets key plus 3 and a medium chance of pulling a critical hit within the same turn after receiving an attack. Now, the only thing with that is you're probably not going to have EZA TEQ VB in slot 1 in probably any circumstance, unless you're like in red zone and you're trying to like set up your rotations, and you absolutely have to. So in terms of getting that key plus 3 and a 30% chance of performing a critical hit after receiving an attack, I don't really see that becoming active all too much. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really see anyone even going for that. Again, the only time he's ever going to be in slot 1 is if you're in a red zone stage, if you're in a red zone event and you're trying to get your rotations in order, and he's like the best bet to have in slot 1. And even then, that would be when red zones first start, so when you first start your run. So even then, having him in slot 1 wouldn't be a good idea, because he only has 150% defense. He hasn't been stacking. He wouldn't have attacked yet, so he wouldn't even get the additional 50% defense. So it's kind of weird how they have that on him, I'm not going to lie, because, of course, once he gets hit, you want him to be super attacking, or ideally, you want him to be super attacking 3-4 times as much in one turn. When he gets hit, it's going to be after he super attacks, so the extra key and the extra crit chance at that point isn't really going to be necessary. So I do find that kind of weird how they gave that to him. Just because, yeah, as I said, you would have to put him in slot 1, and you're definitely not going to put him in slot 1. So let's see how he's going to do without Warrior Gods. So with Warrior Gods active pre-super on a 553k attack stat, 248k defense. Again, he hasn't actually additional super attacked all too much for us. Like, I don't think he's even got the triple, let alone the quadruple. So again, this could be a lot higher, and that's exactly what you want in red zone. You probably want to keep him on rotation for a bit, stack him up while it's safe, and then even though it may not be where you want it, or ideally where you would want his defense specifically in some of the red zone fights, then maybe you kind of rotate him off and let him do his thing. But even by the time you get to him in slot 3, he still has the potential again to super attack 3-4 times in one turn if you have dupes. So it's not all doom and gloom to rotate him off. Without Warrior Gods active, we are on a 503k attack stat pre-super. We are going to leave him linked up without Warrior Gods just to see how he is ideally linked, rather than, or with his more ideal linking partner, not completely ideally linked. So up to 3.7 million attack stat. Can we see some additional supers now? Stack up a bit more, a bit quicker. There's an additional basic, another additional super. So he's definitely got the full 200% right now. So we're just under a 5 million attack stat. And there's a crit. And there's the benefit of how old this Tech VB is. A lot of you newer Dokkan players might not even have him. So, which is a huge shame. But a lot of us who've been playing for a while, of course, including myself, obviously, this guy's been out for a hot minute. Like a hot minute. And he was one of the best units in the game when he originally dropped, of course, with the now EZA Strength Rose, who's also looking very, very good. And again, I will be doing a showcase on. And he was one of the best units back in the day. And he is now, once again, and it's funny how times in Dokkan change, he is now one of the stronger, wouldn't say he's, I'm not sure where I'd put him, but he is definitely now one of the stronger EZA units in the game. It's funny how time flies. Back in the day, he was one of the best units in the game, just in general, one of the best Dokkan Fest. Now he's one of the best, you know, EZAs. That is because of how many times he can super attack, which of course helps him stack up quickly. And then of course, building up that attack, the additional attack plus 200% you get each time he attacks as well, which means the amount of, again, accumulative damage that is possible for this Tech VB in one turn is very nice. And especially because he is an older unit, a lot of you may have dupes in him, which means you should have gone full crit or just as much crit as possible, which means those 3-4 super attacks you may do along the way, or in my case, 1 or 2, but those possibilities of doing 3-4 super attacks in one turn, you could be hitting crits on those and doing a decent amount of damage accumulatively in one turn with all those additional supers. With the crits from the dupe system, you could be doing some pretty decent raw damage to an enemy's health bar. But yeah, his EZA is very, very good. I am a big fan of it. I'm not going to lie. We're up to a 905k attack stat now, 303k defense. That is with Warrior Gods. And then without Warrior Gods, we actually lose a lot from Warrior Gods. We go down to 800. Okay, maybe we don't lose as much as I thought. We go down to 839 from what? Literally just over 900k? Yeah, just over 900k. So let me just leave it like this. I don't think LRVB is going to kill here. We just missed out on the Dokkan attack as well. I think the only thing that would let him down within red zone would be, yes, you know, even if you are getting very lucky with the additionals or the 2 built-in additional attacks he has, if those 30% chances are really hitting with you, even if you are getting, you know, 3-4 super attacks off in one turn the majority of the time, yes, you could get his defense to a very good spot, like quite quickly. 5.8 we're up to now. Yes, you could get it to a good spot relatively quickly, but I don't think his defense will be in a good enough spot where he's tanking, you know, exceptionally well. Like, I think you can get him to a point where once he super attacks, you know, however many times it is, he should be able to tank basics against a lot of the red zone enemies. However, a still decent portion of the super attacks, you're going to want to avoid them with him. You're definitely going to want to have a Whis active and hope for the best and cross your fingers. So I don't think you'll be able to get his defense up to like 900k, a million before the time, you know, before the fight ends. But one thing he does have on his side, which is very valuable, and I said this a lot of the time when it came to the year 7 LRs, defensively they can be very good. But one thing they definitely have in their favor is the amount of damage they can do in one turn. And the same can be said, probably not on the same scale, or maybe if you do constantly hit, you know, 4 super attacks in one turn, is the amount of damage Tech VB can do in one turn. Because, you know, you're going to be stacking him the entire time. You get extra attack plus 200%. Again, you could be hitting crits along the way. You know, you're hitting 4, 5, 6, maybe even 7 million attack stats, constantly stacking it up, hitting crits along the way, hitting 3-4 super attacks in one turn. And that's a decent amount of total damage against an enemy boss in red zone in one turn. So his EZA is very good. He has some solid linking partners. And once again, Tech VB is up there as one of the better units in the game. And it's good to see, man. It's funny how Dokkan comes full circle. It really is. But do let me know anything from down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys. And peace.